So I'm going to do a mini-series called the Adelson Act. It's on the three main characters in this case, which is Donna Meddling Adelson, Charlie Maestro Adelson, and Wendi Victim Adelson. I'm not really going to include Harvey in this. I will touch on him here and there, but I'm not going to do a video on him because, to be fair, I don't think there's enough on Harvey to do a full video on him. Whereas with the others, I sometimes feel like you could go on for years with the other three and still have something to say about them. So I mean, Harvey, he's just the Harvey. I suppose Harvey's the Ka-ching Adelson, isn't he? So yeah, so I'm going to do this a mini series just on these three. Some of the things I've covered before in the past and some I haven't. My name's Dawn and this is Lounge Bar Crime. Quick disclaimer, everything you hear in this video, it's from my own research, it's my opinion, and it's for entertainment purposes only. That out of the way, let's get to it. I know I'm saying that I'm not really going to include Harvey. I know I've just said that, but just to explain, with Harvey, any kind of involvement to do with Harvey really always involves Donna anyway. Donna is one of the main characters, if you like, of this crime, because even if like Charlie calls the house at any time, it's, if Harvey answers, it's like, get mummy dearest, get my mum. They're not really interested in Harvey at all. And when I say that, he is the Ka-ching man, he is. Because if you think about it, even at the start of this, when they was paying Magbanua checks every month, they were in Donna's name. It's like Donna's like, Harvey, give us your checkbook. When they was going to try and blackmail Dan, it was Donna that was arranging that. She wasn't arranging it with her own money because she doesn't do jack all, so she doesn't earn jack all. So she was doing it with Harvey's money. So he's like a done deal really, because he's agreed to everything. You see, at one stage I did kind of think that Harvey was henpecked, he's controlled. And he is to a degree. But where his money's concerned, this is what I was saying in the other video with regards to the car. He's not stupid where his money's concerned. They had a legal team that was doing work for him on this case, and they decided to get rid of him and just not pay them. That was Harvey's doing. That's Harvey with money. So he is the money man in this. But he hasn't done any of the organising. He's not the control freak. He's used just for that. I mean, heaven forbid if he'd have ever tried to divorce Donna. Because I noticed when Wendi was on the stand, she said about her mum and dad sharing email. They've been married or they've been together 51 years. They share an email. And at the time, when I heard it, I thought, is she having a dig at Dan's parents? Because Dan's parents have a far healthier relationship than her parents. And I just thought, at what cost? Have they been together for 51 years? At what cost? You're talking as though, like it's the ideal relationship, when it's not. It's the most calculated relationship I've ever seen between a couple. So I don't know what Wendi was sat there though. They've been together 51 years. That aside, I think Harvey is a done deal. I think there's plenty of evidence on Harvey in the restaurant, even with Charlie. So yeah, and it's like Hankinson said, with listening to them tapes that time, was it Hankinson? Was it Wheeler? Oh, I'll have to check that because I'm trying to think. He actually said, it's not it's not it's not always what you hear, it's also what you don't hear. And I was so glad to hear that. I'm sure it was Hankinson. It's what you don't hear. And with Harvey in them tapes, which I've covered that ages ago, it's what you don't hear. So I think Harvey's a done deal. And even if you listen to him on the telephone calls with Charlie and everything, he just mutters on. He's got nothing to say. Nobody wants to listen to him. And I think if he was on the stand, they'd just walk all over him. They'd have him that quick. So I don't think Harvey is going to be a concern for us at all, or for Georgia. I don't think he's going to be any kind of concern. Anyway, let's get into Donna. Right, let's go to the email. I'm not going to go through all the emails with Donna because I'll be here for years going on, because there's that much with Donna. There's that much with this case to go on about, and these emails go on forever. So I've just picked out certain parts to show how Mommy Dearest, Donna Meddling Adelson, her character. We know her character anyway, but one of the first things that she says in one of these emails is that you must let your attorney know, to Wendi, she's writing this email, you must let your attorney know that the relocation to Florida, to where her parents live, is non-negotiable. Talk about delusional. The whole lot of them are anyway, particularly Charlie, but he's for another video. It's non-negotiable. You must let your attorney know that that is non-negotiable. As though it's like she's telling her daughter. This is the kind of advice she gives her kids. She's telling her daughter, now this is what you need to do, this is what you need to say, and this is what is not negotiable. As though Wendy's got a choice of what's negotiable. I mean, she does actually believe that if she continues to talk like this is the woman, by the way, who's hiding in her house, who won't even come to court, who wouldn't even contact the police ever with regards to this case. This was the woman before this case kicked in. This is what you need to do. She's definitely the puppet master in all this, or one of them, definitely. But yeah, that is non-negotiable. Donna also goes on to say in one of her emails that you must let your attorney know. I mean, I don't know which corner she's coming from, what kind of advice this is, but it's so contradictory. You must let your attorney know that, like, your father has come away from his business to come and see the children in Tallahassee, and that I have also come away from the dental practice, running the office, being the office manager. So his practice is suffering. Well, how can that be a good thing for the children? How can that be a good thing for the children? Because that just means that if their business is suffering, then obviously that's not a good thing. So I don't understand where she's coming. I don't understand why that is relevant to put that in the email for her to tell her attorney. No, she does also mention that if she comes away, if she moves to Florida, if she moves to Miami with the children, then her mother will be looking after the children, and then she will be getting the job prospects that she was after. But when Wendi was on the stand, she'd already said that she was quite happy in Tallahassee with her career and everything. She was really happy there. So it doesn't make sense. You know, the other thing that I thought about with this case as well, we know that Donna and Harvey haven't got their laptops now with the emails on, and those emails will not be in her emails. We know that, and yet the daft thing is, yeah, we know she's got rid of him, but the daft thing is, she should really have kept them emails because they already have them anyway. So it would be in her favour to keep them emails to say, yeah, look, I've not got rid of anything. But we just know Donna and Harvey, all of them would have got rid of all that. So, stupid, absolutely stupid. They didn't go to the police anyway, and they didn't contact the police when they were supposed to have done. So they're guilty as anything anyway. But I wonder if Donna sits and thinks about, she talks about how clever her children are. I bet she sits there and thinks, you stupid cow, not getting rid of them, not deleting them emails, and yet at the same time, I bet they were still sat in her laptop, because that's how stupid they all are. I'm going to play a bit of George Kappelman in a moment, reading parts of this email, but just to point out that she does say, Donna does say in this email to Wendi, never, never, never give up. You know, on the surface, that sounds like great advice to give your kids, but it's not the kind of advice I'd give I've only got one lad anyway, but it's not the kind of advice I would have ever give my lad. Never, never, never give up. You'd do the old one, wouldn't you? Like, if at first you don't succeed, try again. I've probably said to my lad in the past, don't give up too easily. If he's, you know, but I don't think I would ever say to anybody, never, never, never give up. What does that mean? Never, never. At what cost? Never, never give up. What are you saying if you're saying that to somebody? Even if it makes you depressed, even if it makes you unhappy, no matter what, don't give up. That's terrible advice, I think, to give anybody. And she says, like, don't let him take control. Wow. Wendi sat there with Dan Markel's family jewellery, best part of the furniture, half the money that wasn't even hers, and apparently stocks and bonds. I'm not too sure on that, but there was something like that as well. Don't let him take control. That she'd already taken control. She also says to do what will make him miserable and what his weak points are, which is money, religion, and control. I've already just covered the control bit with Wendi, but to go for these weak spots. And then she mentions that you've got 5 weeks to do this before the next court date. So that shows that Donna has them dates in her head. Donna, she's working, she's definitely, I mean, she's got it off to a T. She's got down what date she's next in court. Who does that? I think if my son he's not married, but if he was getting a divorce, I wouldn't know what date he was getting a divorce. I'd just be like, I'm here if you need me. I wouldn't be getting in the middle of it. I'd be like, it's up to you, sort it out. I'm here for you to cry on. But I wouldn't be writing, right, you need to do this. You've got 5 weeks to do it in. It's just more proof and evidence in them emails. I mean, she hangs herself out to dry, you know, because it's all there in the emails for Donna. I think it's going to be easy to get Donna. Very easy. And I'll tell you why I think it's going to be easy. Because as you can see in that video where I did about Wendi playing games of cat and mouse, I think Wendi has got her mum's personality, her traits, her narcissistic personality. And you don't hear me use words like that very often because I don't even pretend to understand the differences between these personality traits, because I don't. I know basics of it, but I don't. But I do know what a narcissist is, and I think they are the three of them. I don't know with Harvey, because we, like I said, we haven't got that much on how he's behaved in the background and all this. Hopefully that's all going to come to the forefront. But they are definitely narcissists, and and totally delusional, absolutely delusional, all three of them. Yeah, just listen to parts of this email that Georgina Kappelman is reading out from this email from Donna Adelson to Wendi Adelson, and mentioning about the court date being the 31st of July. Just have a listen.
Chronological order. So this next email is dated Thursday, June 25th, 2013. This one is from that Donna Harvey at gmail.com address that both Harvey Adelson and Donna Adelson use, and it's signed Love, Mom, and Dad, and it's to Wendi Adelson. Never, never, never give up. It's time for action. It's time to take control of your life and not let Jibbers think he just won anything by having you remain in Tallahassee. Let's show this F blank 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 what will make him absolutely miserable. You know his weak points: money, religion, control. You have 5 weeks before your court date. I know you have a job that keeps you very busy. However, the rest of your life, and consequently Dad's, mine, and yes, even Charlie's, will be affected by how well you can perform/act between now and July 31st. You can be a good actress when you want to. I've seen you in action. You just need to put on the performance of your life. Jibbers hasn't beaten the Adelson family yet. You have a very strong family behind you. Just remember that. Dad and I have done everything we could to try to help you for the last 10 months. Now it's time to help yourself. We believe that you will be able to make this happen. If you can put these actions before everything else this month, yada yada, here's the plan of action.
If you're finding this video interesting, even if just a tidge a little bit, you know what I'm going to say. Press the tidge like button below. Go on then. She says to Donna as well, now you don't, more or less like, you don't need to tell me. You don't need me to tell you how to act and how to do all this. Blah, blah, blah. She goes on and about putting the plan into action. And then she goes, number 1, do this. Number 2, do. After saying you don't need me to tell you, she goes through a full plan of action, telling her exactly what to do. Which this makes this really easy for Wendi victim Adelson, because she's just lapping all this up. It's like, yeah, I've reeled yous all in. You're all jumping to my tune. We'll get into Wendi in a bit in another video. Yeah, and because the egos, like Charlie Maestro is, you know, and Donna is the control freak. You don't need me to do, but do this, do that. She thinks her points and her opinion and her plans of action are that valuable that she can't help doing it anyway. I mean, it's not like she says, look, deal with it yourself. We know she's not a normal mother because she's just not. But she just can't help. Do this. Here's plan. Listen to some of these things that she's telling Wendi, her advice to her daughter.
All right, plan of action. Number 1, take a photo of the boys dressed nicely, standing at the front door or by the sign of a church in Tallahassee. Then change your Facebook status photo to this one so everyone will see this. Perhaps a line under the photo with, quote, "New beginnings in Tallahassee" might be nice. Within minutes, Jibbers should either see this or will be getting calls from his friends, acquaintances about this. How happy do you think he'll be? Make arrangements to get the boys caught up with a private tutor, teenage Catholic church member, who will come to the house and teach the young men about Jesus. Number 3, let Jibbers know that your children will be baptized in the Catholic Church, and you'll certainly invite him to the event. Let him know that the Catholic Church is a big part of your life now with the boys, and you'd like him to be a part of it. As long as he wants you to remain in Tallahassee, The boys will be involved with you in church-related activities and ceremonies.
She's talking about having the children baptised in a Catholic church. And she actually says, I've had this checked out. It takes about 2 weeks to organise. Now, that's just about a baptism. So how many more things has she done behind the scenes? She knows the court date. We know she knows all these things. I'm not telling you anything new. But what I'm saying is, I'm talking about the degree of her involvement. And she keeps calling Dan Markel a control freak. She talks about him, that being one of his weaknesses. She's got the date of the court date, how many weeks away it is. What a plan of action. What Wendi should do, how she should act. She should put on the act of her life. A baptism takes 2 weeks. And in the next breath, she's already said in this email that it looks like Jibbers is making this court case with regards the access to the children, and that he's making this a full-time job. He's making they're his children, and I think that says quite a lot about him if he is. And she's making it a full-time job to have access to her children's children and son-in-law's children, to take them from him, and she's making it a full-time job because she can't get in work now. They're sitting at home and planning on what she's going to do to Dan Markel. So why would we believe for 1 minute she wasn't involved in this? You can even just looking at her emails. I think one of the most disgusting things I've ever heard out of Donna, apart from when Charlie was on the phone and they were talking about the bump, and Dan Markel's children was in the background playing, and she's like so blasé talking about the bump. That really turned my stomach. But yeah, very close, where she's talking about blackmailing Dan, to give up his kids. Like, you could give Dan any amount of money to give up his children. He wasn't going through all he was going through to sell his kids, because that's what she's talking about. And this is what I'm saying about her being delusional. The whole lot of them, they all think it all evolves around that. It's like, Harvey, get your checkbook out. We just need to pay Dan off. That's how delusional they all are. And that's why I think it got to the stage that it got to, because no matter what there was, I know that they didn't actually make that offer to Dan, but all the other steps that they was taking in control, and they couldn't control him, because he was more than a match for them, for all of them. And that's why poor Dan Markel ended up dead, because he knew how to fight his corner, and he was doing it legally, and they couldn't stand it, and all 3 of them against him was losing, and 4 of them was losing. So that's why Dan lost his life, because he had rights, and he had the law on his side, and he was going through the right channel, and they didn't know what to do, because they weren't a match for him. We know that Donna's part in this murder, we know that she didn't actually commit the murder. She might as well have done. But her role in this is meddling Donna Adelson. That's what she is. And I don't think there's going to be a problem at all. Convicting her of conspiracy to murder. I don't think there's going to be any problem doing that at all. And the sooner the better. The sooner that this proffer is sorted out, and the sooner Georgia Kappelman is signing the request for the arrest, of Donna, Wendi and Harvey, the better. Just have a listen here also to George Kappelman's closing arguments. This is back in 2019.
All right. February 14th, 2014, so 5 months before the murder, Mr. Markel files this particularly biting counter motion in which he reiterates his feelings about the way she left the relationship, talking about her abandoning the marital home, taking everything out of the home, leaving behind no address. He mentions that she took his stuff, including his tennis racket. He talks about family heirlooms and jewelry that was taken, hundreds of thousands of dollars in cash and equities. 2014, March 26, 2014, Mr. Markel files this motion alleging that the grandmother of these children, Donna Adelson, has disparaged him to the children. Quote, "Grandma says you're stupid. She says you're trying to take her sunshines away from her, and Grandma says she hates you." Dan Markel is requesting the court to enjoin the former wife from allowing the maternal grandmother to have unsupervised time with the children.
Do you know what? It's mad, isn't it, about how this case has got us all? But it's just such a tragic case. Not only for Dan Markel and his parents, but for those boys. Those boys of Dan's. I don't even want to say those boys of Wendy's. Because, like I've said in the other videos, she's never there anyway. I hope you've seen the other video, because I am going to do one about Wendi, the victim, in this series. But I've also done about Wendy's games of cat and mouse. I've got so much more. I had so much more to add to that. I might do a part 2 to that, because there was just so much that I just put aside. So I might do a part 2 to that after I've done the one in this. But I've got no doubt in my mind, like, as I've said, that this case, the whole lot of them is going to go to trial. And when it does, I don't care about my full-time job. I'm watching it. I'm just going to say I've got COVID. I can't work. Yeah, so 2023 couldn't come around quick enough for me, to be fair, only because of this case. Because yeah, it's all gonna happen this year, and I've not got one bit of doubt in my mind that they're all going to be where they all deserve to be. So the next video in connection with this, the Adelson Act, is on Charlie Adelson. So Charlie Maestro Adelson, or so he thinks. Yeah, so stick around. Subscribe if you've not subscribed and you want to get notified for the rest of these videos. Don't forget that notification bell. Also, I am on Patreon now as well. I'm doing a mini-series on Patreon, apart from other videos that I'm putting on Patreon that can't go on YouTube. So, yeah, I hope you subscribe to my Patreon. And until next time, good night, stay safe, and come back. Bye.